Coley here. You should subscribe to my channel because otherwise real ones don't get famous and only people who do this kind of dumb shit do, you know?
I don't know shit. I don't know shit.
Coley, go ask.
Coley here. New Revelutionary on how society is just mass psychology. Now, I apologize for the ugly background. I'm looking at a bunch of beautiful trees in the sky. And ain't that the opposite of how the internet normally works? They show you the beautiful, and then their life's a fucking mess. Well, sorry, I'm going to be a little selfish on this one. I like my view, and hopefully the words to you make this worth it. And I'm not that important, and none of this is, and who fucking gives a shit, right? So that's the two sides of it, right? In psychology, we have our higher consciousness, and we have our shadow, right? Light and dark. And then when you see this play out in society, you got the woke, which is consciousness, and don't know why it's demonized because it just means caring and being a little enlightened. And then you got the based, which is, look, we're animals who got to eat, fuck, and if somebody tries to hurt me, I got to kill them, which is grounded. And there's this huge divide between the woke and the based, and it's like they're both valid. And that's our psychology up into society. Another example of this is we got the left and right lobe, right brain, left brain. We hear about that all the time. Creative and logical, masculine, feminine. And then when you see that play out in society, you got Republican and Democrat, masculinity and femininity. And we all have both. I don't know why we can't just... I blame the leaders, to be honest. I mean, if you're a leader, you should be smarter than most of society. And if you're smarter than most of society, you should know this shit and tell people it. If you're so smart as to gain power and then say, hey, the other is bad and there's only one, and you're lying. That's like one of the basic misinformations out there. We talk a lot about the details and vaccines and God knows what, but the basic one is anyone telling you that we're different. And there's two types. We all have left and right. We all have right lobe, left lobe. We all have masculine and feminine. We all have yin yang. We all have consciousness and shadow, based and woke. So we're all a little right, we're all a little wrong. And people are like, oh, you're dancing on the line. Does it sound like I'm playing to you? Does it sound like I'm being pragmatic? Does it sound like I'm trying to just not say something provocative? No, it's the truth. I'm not saying this to pander. That's the real. And for the people who feel it, they know that's the real, right? Sometimes the simple answer is right. Like, we are all human beings, and we all share the same psychology, and together that makes society. And so the healthier our psychology is, the healthier society is, and the healthier society is, the healthier psychology is. And unfortunately, we're all insane right now, right? We are traumatized. We are bipolar. We are schizophrenic. We are aggressive, violent, And you see this play out in psychological terms and societal terms. There's been so much trauma. I mean, COVID itself inflames the brain. The virus, it inflames the brain. When wages haven't gone up in 50 years and the price of everything and rent has, people are going to start feeling the pinch. And that's going to play out in an unhealthy way in society. It's the money, stupid. Which isn't real. So there's some distortion, some cognitive dissonance there. We're sold the American dream. We can, you work hard, you can feed your family, have a home, and live a good life. And now even, I heard somewhere the stat is the average human who works minimum wage full time, that won't afford the average 2-bedroom apartment. So you need 2 jobs, or you live in a car while you're And there, now you got society's issue down to the psychology, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You don't have basic security. You don't have basic food. You don't have basic safety. So you're never going to be able to reach self-fulfillment, creativity, and enlightenment, wokeness, because you don't even have the basic base. You don't have the base. If you don't have the base, you can't get to the upper. And so if there's not enough resources in the society, we're all going to be unhealthy psychologically. And it goes both ways. If you elect unhealthy leaders, they're going to make society more unhealthy. I don't blame any one man for all of our issues, but it's a symptom of the whole thing. I have found in my own life, when I worked really hard for money and was successful per society's definition, working on Wall Street 120 hours a week, making 160 grand a year at 21, I was materially successful and unhealthy as fuck, and gained a lot of weight, was not healthy. And when I worked really hard, even when my health was challenged, you saw that during my head injury and COVID years. You saw that I didn't look very good. And now I'm looking a lot healthier. It's because I took a step back and focused on getting healthy instead of material success. And it's a shame that can't equate to success. The incentives are all wrong. We're incentivized to hurt our own health and psychology in pursuit of a buck, but that's not sustainable. We live in this beautiful Eden, this beautiful nature, this beautiful earth. It definitely has enough for all of us. Fruits from the trees and all that shit. But if you build a big machine on top, and that extracts via rent keeping to a techno-feudalism where a small few make a ridiculous amount of digital clamshells while the rest of us starve and kill each other, that's not fucking good. That's not healthy. I want to be clear. I'm not demonizing success. I'm not even demonizing wealth. I'm demonizing greed and materialism and excess. And look, if you could theoretically have that while everyone else has enough, God bless, but that's not how it works. So if you extract more than you deserve, there's going to be other people who starve, have diabetes, heart disease, and mental health problems. This is how it goes. So for the wealthiest country in the world, America, we have so much wealth. We have so much resources. They acquired, the entire earth as a superpower, used up all the resources, printed 34 trillion plus worth of national debt, printed a bunch of fake money causing inflation, acquired 90% of the assets on the monopoly board, didn't pay their fair share of taxes, and sold products that give us cancer, diabetes, and make us mentally unhealthy, like on social media. And what did you do with all that greed? You just have it. You just have it. That's it. You just have it. And what's behind that in society? Move fast and break things, right? Well, you fucking broke it. You fucking broke it. I would suggest a different way. Move thoughtfully and heal it. Don't move fast and break it. Would you rather have 8 yachts you can't sit on at the same time and a fucking dystopia? Or would you rather have a functioning society where neighbors are kind to each other? Even as a wealthy man, you could go to a coffee shop and not be afraid of getting shot. And you can have a beat poet conversation with some poor weirdo, and you're talking about life and Tao and God and the universe, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's some things money can't buy. What I have, money can't buy. Only time, thought, self-work, reading, growth, experience can get you. You know, the other side of this is the idea that life is supposed to be perpetually happy, once fulfilled, and it just works out all the time is wrong. I mean, since the dawn of mankind, humans have been kind of fucked, and it's been tough. We used to die from typhoid in our 20s. You catch a fever, you're fucked. Winter, you starve. You get in fights with rusty swords. I mean, you know, we've always been violent and pretty fucked. But if we're really the conscious species, the conscious animal that can in tune with God and make the choices, let's choose the light, not the dark. What have we done with that great gift? We built a machine which will probably surpass us and then be the dark empire around the universe, you know, while we're the Jedi. And again, not demonizing technology, not demonizing progress. If you can do it in such a way that it serves all of humanity and doesn't kill us all, and makes life better with more freedom, God, patriotism, and love, and God bless. But it doesn't look like it's going that way, right? I mean, who watches The Matrix and then builds it? Who watches Terminator and then builds it? And it's just, you guys are so smart, you're stupid, you know? A lot of you tizzies got gaps. You got gaps. You got human gaps. You're not the best at human stuff. So I think we got to have more philosophers, creators, thinkers, healers, working in collaboration with the highest levels of government, business, and tech to balance it in a way that's healthy for us, meaning humans. And then people go, "Oh, you're so naive," like cynicism, like, dude, selfish and war and aggression. It's like, dude, if we're not building anything to serve us as humans, who's the idiot? I'm not the idiot. You're the idiot. You see? This is all coming from a meditative place. You can agree, disagree, I don't care. I'm not going to be mad at none of you. Because I'm healthy. Right? And the healthier I am, the healthier people in my family and people around me are. That's how it works. And it builds up to society, like the original thesis. Another example is with governments, right? Everybody goes, "I hate the government." It's like, well, yes, everybody does. But what are you going to do? You're going to get rid of all the governments in the world? Government, at its best, is the organization of the people. So you got psychology and society, right? So you got people, and we got to figure out some way to, how do we govern shared spaces, shared resources, have justice, make sure people aren't murking each other in the street, wild, wild west. So what do? We invented society, right? So that's the government at its best. It's the collective deciding what basic rules we want to follow. And if you're like, "I hate the government," you hate part of yourself. You know, we all have the individual and the community, and the individual and community. And if you are going to delude and gaslight yourself into thinking, "I am so right, I determine it, that I hate the government and I hate everybody who disagrees with me," well, you got some serious mental health issues, dude. Because that's just not how it works. Like, you don't know it, just like the people you're talking about don't know it. So, how do we do that? We come together, debate it, vote on it, math chooses, Athens, Greece, democracy, founding fathers, the whole bit, and do it. Now, if you're going to not follow the rules, cheat, do dark shit, lie, steal, don't follow the judges, don't listen to Congress, and you're going to do whatever you want, well, then that's authoritarianism, which is the societal version of malignant narcissism. Okay? So you can't just determine you know it all and do it. That we have a system to do that. And the more in line and healthy that system is with human freedom, free speech, free thought, democratic ideals, the better that'll work. And the governments obviously suck. I mean, they obviously are not operating per our beautiful poetry. They're not. So I hear you. We all don't like it, but you might be part of the same problem because you are a part of the government. The people, the government, it's the same shit. Right? And just like people have the higher consciousness and the shadow, so do governments. So we have our A story, America, patriotism, innovation, freedom, democracy, values. And we got the intelligence agencies and CIA and all this stuff that does all sorts of dark shit all around the world, right? And you got China, who goes, we are about temperance and logic and mutual respect and peace. And that's their top story. But then their shadow government is doing all sorts of fentanyl and sabotage and and same with Russia. We are about sharing and all the stuff they talk about, and then they got their dark side, right? We all got our light and our dark. So it's not like anyone's the enemy inherently. Even the bad guys usually think they're the good guy. Putin, Trump, etc. They do, So but you can't be the savior and the joker in one. It's incompatible. The joker part of you is the part to heal, the shadow, so that you can be close to savior, but you'll probably just top out at human. Right? So if we as people can heal our shadow self to be our best conscious self and operate per values, justice, and not cheating and doing dark shit, that should over time create a healthier government and society. And if the government can actually self-reflect, look itself in the mirror and go, hey, we should tone down the dark shit and take care of these folks better, it'll all add up and all boats will rise. Both the psychology of each individual and the mass psychology of the society. The tricky part is that the execution of all this. This is very idealistic. It's very easy to say this, very hard to do. So I see that. If the U.S. puts away their intelligence agencies and their shadow government, and Russia and China doesn't, that's very dangerous, right? So it's like we all got to put our guns down, or we're fucked, right? So it's watch Dr. Strangelove and the atomic bomb. It's like bad things happen because of fear spiraling out of control. Of like, well, we want to be a great American, we want peace, but what about the Ruskies? They might be doing some dark shit. And the Ruskies are like, look, we want to be friends with America, but America might be doing some dark shit. And then they fucking compound into a cataclysmic annihilation of us all. and that movie actually makes it hilarious. I don't know how. Because that's a terrible thing to go extinct. Then we're not here. So there's no psychology and there's no society. And this is why I think a lot of Buddhas and need to become bodhisattva. The idea of the enlightened coming into society to help, even though it hurts because you'd rather be under the tree happy as shit, and instead you're sitting on the pavement talking to you clowns. But, there's nowhere to meditate if the whole world gets nuked. So it's time for the people who see it, get it, feel it, love it, come help it. And for the rest of y'all, listen a little. And God bless.
I don't know shit. Right now 76, thinking. I don't know shit. I don't know shit.